everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys have been well. So today we're going to be decluttering my face palettes. I initially wanted to do both my face palettes and my blushes together, but I think that's just going to take way too long and I wouldn't be able to be as in depth, I guess, in my videos. I have like a good amount of face palettes, a little bit too much honestly, but it would just be kind of nice to kind of see what I can get rid of. Grab a drink, grab a snack, grab whatever you need, and maybe even declutter along with me, and let's get right on into it. So I guess we can start off with this. This is my e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadow palette in the shade Cantaloupe, and this is sort of this very light toned colored duo. You have a blush shade here and a highlighter. This is actually quite light for me, but I keep it because the blush is just so unique in my collection. I do have some eyeshadows that are very similar to this, so I won't miss it hopefully too much after I use it up, but I also think it would be kind of fun to maybe put this in a project pan and try to hit pan on the blush or finish one of these products, but yep, I'm keeping that. And next I actually have a duplicate of this product. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Hello Halo Blush Lighter in the shade I Met Someone. I bought this one in Tennessee and I got this one as a bundle gift and something that I ordered from eBay. So this is what this looks like here. Kind of similar tones to this, but these are two highlighters. I like the peachy one and then this more peachy champagne here too, so I'll be keeping this. Also for the e.l.f. one, why can't e.l.f. come out with a highlighter formula of just this? They keep coming out with like liquids and creams, so I hope that they can get something out for us. But anyway, I'll be keeping this, and of course because this is a duplicate, I'm going to be decluttering this one. I feel like you guys are really close. Hold on. There we go. Maybe that's better. Next, I have my July Star Trio. This is in the shade number 6. I got this from Shein, specifically because I liked the brown color here of this one. So there's a cream, and then there's two powders, one more shimmery and then one more matte. This kind of came cracked in the packaging, so that's why it kind of got everywhere, but the shades are still really nice. I don't really use the warm shimmery one too much, but I like these two shades better, so this is what this looks like here. These are kind of more browny blush shades. I know this looks like a contour, but I like to use it as a blush, so I will be keeping this trio as well. Next I have this small little Tati Beauty face palette. I think this is a dupe for the Judy Doll brand, but I think it's an actual brand. This I got off of Shein as well, and I guess I'll just swatch this out for you. You have a warmer bronzer, a cooler contour which you can use to contour around the eyes, the nose, and the lips. You have a highlighting shade, and then you also have a shimmery cream highlighter, which is really nice. So this is what this looks like here, right there. So you have a lot of nice tones here. It's a really good contour palette, and I will be keeping it. Then another thing that I will be keeping also is this Beauty Blender Bounce Magic Fit Creamy Bronzer. I kind of got this because I wanted a high-end bronzer in my collection. So first on top you have another cream highlighter, which is really cute. This is actually very nice. I'll compare it to the other cream here. It's a little bit more paler and more smooth. I think there's like less shimmer in there, so it's really nice for those natural days. This cream bronzer actually is quite warm and it's very moussey, which isn't particularly my favorite formula, but I would like to use this up before I get another bronzer, and this is what that shade looks like. I have mostly cool and neutral bronzers in my collection, so having something a little bit warm brings a little bit more room for creativity and creative looks in my collection, so it adds value to my collection. Then something that I picked up recently from Ulta is this Wet n Wild My Melody Kuromi palette. It is a highlighter palette. I'll swatch it out for you guys here. I think the top two are more glittery finishes, and then the bottom two are kind of smoother, creamier finishes. I don't know if you guys can see that there. You have this more toppery shade here. You have this other blue toppery shade here. These could be good eyeshadows too. And then you have these two more creamy highlighters here. These are very cool tone, and I also don't have that many colorful highlighters in my collection, so I will be keeping these as well. And it's super cute too. I actually didn't grow up with My Melody or Kuromi, but I thought it was a cute palette, and this one was a little bit more interesting than the other palette that they had, so I'm going to be keeping this. The next palette that I have is quite an old classic. This is the Belgian Waffle palette by BH Cosmetics. And there are 3 highlighters and 3 bronzers in here. This is more of like a blending out shade, but I do really like it. So there's a couple of different shades in here. And they're all quite warm and yellowy leaning, which I think is really cool. Especially because I don't have those kinds of, I don't know, there's a little bit of interest in this palette, and I do really like the tones. And these highlighters are crazy, honestly, they're amazing. So that's this palette right there. The formula reminds me a lot of Physicians Formula, and this brand was just so good before Makeup Revolution kind of took over, so I will definitely be keeping this. And I do want to do a challenge in 2026 where I just try to hit pan on as many products as possible instead of maybe using things up. And so I would love to be able to hit pan on something in this palette. This is the Cover FX Rose Gold Bar Highlighting Palette, and this is what mine looks like. There's like a icy champagne color in here, and I actually used it all completely up. And then I repressed some eyeshadows from the Makeup Revolution Emily Noel palette and put them in here. I'm not a big fan of this one, and I hardly ever use it, but these 2 shades are great and absolutely stunning. I think I should try to use this up next year though, because this is my oldest face palette, I think. Yeah, I think this is my oldest face palette. And this is what this palette looks like. So that's that gold shade, the Bad Middle Franken shade, and then, oh, sorry, wrong finger. And then that more pinky shade. So I don't know if you guys can see that. Maybe that was a bad swatch, sorry. But this gold shade is absolutely stunning and super beautiful, and the pink one too. So I would love to use this up maybe in the new year, and this could maybe be a Pan That Face palette. One highlighter palette though that I can let go of is this Thor Love and Thunder palette from Ulta Beauty, I think. It was on sale for like $3 before, and it is nice. However, I just have better formulas in my collection. I find this to be a little bit more powdery and not as smooth. And also these 2 shades are just a bit deep for what I like. And this one is a little bit more yellowy. I can let go of this. And then I have more Asian brands, I guess, also. First off is this Basic Violet Knit palette. And I kept it in the packaging because it's so pretty. But this is what this looks like. You get 4 blushes, 3 pinks, and then 1 purple blush, which is really cool. And I love this more lighter purple blush also. So you just have a lot of really cool toned blush shades, which is really nice. And I do love these more pale kind of colors, so I'm keeping this as well. I also don't have a light purple blush, and I just like having these light pinks because they're what I reach for versus the bright bubblegum pink. And then I am also going to be keeping this Juicy Curiosity Crush Cream Blush Duo. It's the Be a Kid Alt Duo. I still have the tape on it. And this is what this looks like. I have not swatched this, and I don't want to swatch it yet until I use it. But you have this cream blue shade for highlighting, and then a nice pink shade for blush. And I'm a fan of 17, the K-pop group. I like their music, and one of their themes, or one of their songs, is called Kid Alt, and their colors are kind of pastel blue and pink. So I will be keeping this. And then I have these 2 palettes. So one is the e.l.f. bronzer palette. My friend Ariana actually gave this to me. This has some really nice rosier, yellowy, and regular bronzer tones. And then I do like to kind of use this as a brown tone blush palette as well. It's hard to see on camera, but in person everything is a little bit more warm. So I will definitely be keeping this because compared to the other bronzer shades that you see, these are a little bit more rosy, and I really like that for blush. So yeah, this is like a powdered blush and bronzer palette for me, and it adds interest to my collection, which is what I want. This, however, I think I can declutter. This is the Malibu Glitz Trio, Vibrant Trio blush in the first color story or shade, which is Fun Time. This is from Shop Miss A, and as you guys can see, it's kind of cracked here. I will be decluttering this, but I'm thinking about maybe depotting this bright orange shade because it's so unique in maybe a singular compact, or I can put it in here and make a Franken palette to pan next year. So let me know what you guys think about that. The product is fine. It's just I realize I have other pink blushes that I reach for, and this neutral is kind of too light to do anything on my skin, but this more carroty, bright, vibrant neon orange shade is what I find really cool. So this is what that looks like right there. See, there's barely anything showing up from that nude blush, but it's a pretty trio. It's just I don't reach for pinks like this that much anymore. If I do, it's going to be a lighter topper, and I don't want to deal with the broken packaging. So decluttering. And then last but not least is my biggest palette that I have. Oops. And this is the For You or Beauty For You Baked Terracotta Bronzer, Highlight, and Blush. There are 3 highlighters, 2 bronzers, and 3 blushes in here, and I use this quite a bit, more than I thought that I would, but I love to reach for these blushes as toppers or these highlighters to just finish off a look or finish off the bronzers that I have. So I will be swatching this for you. So here's the highlighter. Super, super pretty. They are quite chalky when you swatch them, but they look way smoother on the skin, which is why I don't mind them. We have the 2 quote-unquote bronzers, but I kind of use these as blush toppers almost because they're too vibrant to be bronzers. And then I have these 3 blushes. I've always wanted to try the Milani Dolce Pink blush, but it's this palette that has helped to hold me off from doing that because these are already baked products. And some of these are quite similar in tone. So that's what this palette looks like. It's quite warm in general. These blushes, the pink ones, are pretty good though. But that middle one is kind of what I reach for a lot. My mom bought this for me at like Burlington Co-Factory for $7 or something, or $5. So really, really nice, and I'm happy to have it in my collection. And with that being said, you guys, we are keeping 1, 2, 3, 12, nope, 12, is that right? And decluttering 3, 1, 2, 3 palettes. So that's around like 1/4, I think, right? I could be wrong, I think it's like 1/5 or something. But I'm pretty happy with that. I think we did pretty good. Actually, you guys, wait, hold on. I have these palettes. There are 3 face palettes from Dollar Tree. They're the Patrick Ta duo, like, dupes. I'm so happy to have found these because I've been on the hunt for these. So I will be keeping all of them. This one is slightly more taupier, which I do really like year-round. This one is a little bit lighter and peachier in tone. And then this, of course, is a bronzer duo. So, yeah, I know that basically made, like, no difference with how many I decluttered, but I will be keeping these also. And definitely will be showcasing them in a video coming up soon. I'm keeping 14 face palettes and decluttering 3. So yeah, didn't really lose any, but I'm okay with that. I'm really happy with how this came out. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. We have more declutters coming up soon, and it's just been really fun to kind of get back into my collection and see what I have and find some new things too, I guess. Have a wonderful day, have a blessed day wherever you are, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!